Smoke and carbon monoxide detectors, test them, replace batteries. It irks me when I hear someone doing a video, when I watch something on social media, and that little chirp, chirp sound of the battery dead and the detector irks me. Please, y'all change y'all batteries. And a lot of times you can even get like free batteries if you go to the fire department and just say, like, they'll come and check it for you. They'll do things for you. Just stop. Just get it back. Okay, I said I'd be quick. Let me get back on track. Hey, landlords and property managers, it's Jay Stevens here, and welcome to Rich Like My Melanin, where we make money moves that make sense. Spring is officially in the air, and y'all see all the good sunlight, right? That's sunlight from the spring. That's just not a ring light, that's natural light. That means it's time to give our rental properties some much needed TLC. Today, we're diving into essential spring cleaning tasks to keep your properties in tip-top shape and keep your tenants happy. That was a tongue twister, not by design. We will also talk about tax breaks related to maintenance costs. Let's get started. As you may know, I own 3 properties. I have a condo in DC, a townhome in Texas, and a standalone home in South Carolina. And one of the many lessons I have learned as a property manager, and I've learned many, is to prioritize proper maintenance. It's essential because maintenance prevents costly repairs, improves tenant satisfaction, maintains or improves property value, and creates curb appeal. All the things that help you keep more money in your pocket because you keep tenants in your home. So we're going to break this down into the external. We'll start outside the house first, then we'll do internal, then just some general tips I have before we get into the tax breaks. And this is actually going to be a quick video, y'all. So the vid will be quick. Bear with me. Starting with the outside, I'm going to run through it. Boom, 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 boom. Ready, set, go. Gutters and downspouts. Downspouts? I don't know. That's the word that I use but don't need to use. So anyway, gutters. I said I was going to be quick. Let me get back to it. Gutters and downspouts. Clear out leaves, debris, and anything else that might be clogging. This prevents water damage. Roof inspection. Check for damaged shingles, leaks, or any signs of wear and tear. Landscaping. Trim bushes, prune trees, and mow the lawn. Add fresh mulch to flower beds. Exterior walls and siding. Wash away dirt, molds, and mildew. Check for any damage. Windows and doors. Clean windows inside and out. Check for any air leaks or damage to screens because you know as it gets the warmer months that AC comes in and then it's not being able to stay in because the doors and windows aren't properly sealed. That's lost money. Driveways and walkways. Power wash or sweep away debris. Check for cracks or potholes. During the winter months, the snow, if you're in an area that has snow, the snow will damage that concrete. Depending on what city, state, township you're in, they actually will come and repair the concrete for free. I know because I've done it in DC for my DC property. Accessibility. Take inventory of the keys you have around your house. Like, were there any tenants that recently moved out and they still have keys? Also check your security monitoring system. Make sure that it works, that it has the right backup calls and comms for your security system. Sprinkler systems. Turn on and test all sprinklers. Adjust as needed and then check for leaks. Because again, if you have a sprinkler system that's draining money, that means it's, or draining water, that means it's draining money. So, okay, you see how quick I just went through those inside or the outside ones? We're going to see if we can go that quick for inside. Not to rush it, but you're a property manager, you're a landlord. You don't have time to sit here all day watching videos. So let's see how quick I get to the inside of the home. Starting with the HVAC system. I call it the Havoc, but it's really HVAC. Change your air filters and schedule a professional HVAC tune-up. Smoke and carbon monoxide detectors. Test them. Replace batteries. It irks me when I hear someone doing a video, when I watch something on social media, and that little chirp, chirp sound of the battery dead and the detector irks me. Please, y'all change y'all batteries. And a lot of times you can even get like free batteries if you go to the fire department and just say, like, they'll come and check it for you. They'll do things for you. Just stop. Just get it back. Okay, I said I'd be quick. Let me get back on track. Plumbing, check for leaks under sinks and around toilets because, again, a leak is draining water and it's draining money. Appliances, clean the refrigerators. You need to be cleaning refrigerators. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, but you should be doing it more than just quarterly or, when you get around the season change. You should be cleaning your refrigerator every time you buy groceries. Take out the old, replace with the new. Also, deep clean your ovens and dishwashers, your washing machine. There's ways you can deep clean all of this. Clean out the vent filter in the washing machine because that's the source of house fires. Check for any maintenance needs. Caulking and grouts. Check for cracked or damaged caulking around tubs, showers, and sinks. Recalk if needed. Air vents and fans. Clean dust and debris from vents and bathroom fans. I use that Swiffer, that little Swiffer duster. Whoop, 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 get through it, in and out. Check for leaks. Check, and I said this twice already, but we're going to say it again. Check all ceilings and under cabinets for water damage, because what? Water dripping out, a leak dripping out is money dripping out of your pocket. The repairs, the molds, all the things that it costs to repair a leak if it's not addressed quickly and efficiently. Check all interior doors and cabinets. Make sure their hinges and handles are functioning correctly. So we got through the outside. We got through the inside. Now, how do you want to do this? You can do it yourself if you're a Mr. Fix-It. I don't know if y'all can really see it, but right there, you know, I always kind of feature a book right here in this area. This book is actually The Virgin Homeowner by Janice Papalos. I found that to be a good guide if you want to be the person who does stuff on your own, but I am actually not the person who does stuff on my own. So I hire people. I have a property management company that does my maintenance, but then when needed, we also reach out to the electrician, the plumber, technicians, whatever else. Also, when you're doing these repairs, you have tenants. Don't forget to communicate with them, right? Like, just don't start doing repairs without giving them a heads up. Let them know there might be disruptions to service, that you'll be entering the property to do these maintenance, or that you'll have a technician entering the property. A little communication goes a long way, y'all. Even though you might think like, this is my home, I can do what I want. You want to have a positive relationship with your tenants, so give them a heads up. You can also ask them if they see anything that needs to be addressed. Like, they live there every day, so they might be aware of what needs to be updated. Last tip before we get into the tax of all of these maintenance and repairs things. For the last tip, to keep your property in shape year-round, create a maintenance schedule using checklists and documentation of everything. So like when you do these repairs, keep documentation. It does make a difference in how you can file claims in the future and how you can do your taxes, which we're going to get to in a second. Documentation with the maintenance schedule and regular inspections makes a big difference in how you can make your house last longer, how you can make your repairs, appliances, all of that stuff have a longer lifespan and be a better resource for you. And then respond quickly. I mean, you should know this. I hope you know this as a landlord. If your tenant says something requires maintenance, don't say I'm gonna get to it during spring cleaning. Go ahead and be proactive when it comes to breaking it down and fixing it and doing the research of what needs to get done. Okay, so now that we've talked through rental property maintenance, spring cleaning maintenance, let's understand the tax implications, because y'all know I teach finance. So it's not just about, you know, having your property last. It's about the benefit financially that you can get from that property. So let's talk about the tax implications of these. And there are 3 different ways that they're categorized. It's important that you understand the categorization because that impacts what you can do as far as tax write-offs. So there are 3 categories, as I mentioned: repairs, improvements, maintenance. Repairs, improvements, maintenance. Let's break it down. Repairs. These are the expenses that maintain the property's current condition. They fix things that are broken or malfunctioning. These are typically tax deductible in the year they occur. Common examples include fixing leaks like plumbing and roofing. I told y'all a draining leak is draining money out of your pocket. Repairing broken windows or doors, patching holes in walls, repairing appliances, and painting for maintenance, not major renovations. If you're painting for major renovations, that is an improvement. Again, repairs, those are things that are typically tax deductible in the year they occur. Next is improvements. Improvements are expenses that add value to the property, increase its lifespan, or adapt it to a new use. These are capitalized and depreciated over time. Now, I'm going to break down those because those are some fancy accounting words, and I like to use them, but we're going to use them correctly, right? Y'all know I like to make sure y'all are aware of terminology. Capitalized. Capitalization, or capitalizing something, is the process of turning an expense into an asset. So you say it cost me this much as an expense, but because of how long I'll be able to use it, I'm going to call it an asset and put the price of that, the expense of that, over the time period that I own it. The depreciation is that process of saying this is how long I've had the asset and how much it loses value each year. So capitalization is turning expense into an asset. Depreciation is the process of reducing the value of that asset over its lifespan. I'm going to give you a non-housing example, and then I'm going to give you the housing example. A non-housing example, because not everyone who watches this channel has houses, and that is perfectly fine, y'all. Do what's right for you. You could capitalize a car. If a car costs you $30,000 to purchase, and you expect it to last 10 years, you would say that is an asset, not a $30,000 expense, but a $30,000 asset and it is being depreciated at $3,000 annually, because $30,000 divided by 10 years is $3,000 a year. So at the end of 10 years, you've gotten all $30,000 worth of benefit out of it. So now let's break it down into the housing related examples. Like, what are housing improvements? These are adding a room to a home. You know, when you add a new room, you can then rent it out maybe, if it's a new bedroom. So that's an asset. It's an expense that becomes an asset. Renovating the kitchen, renovating the living room, any of those big renovations, that counts. Adding a deck or garage, roof replacement, adding fencing, and then any major plumbing or foundational changes or electrical upgrades. Those are all considered improvements, and those can all be capitalized, and those all have tax benefits. Maintenance, that third category, I said repairs, improvements, and maintenance. Maintenance are the regular activities that I described earlier in this video. So that's landscaping, cleaning, pest control, all those. They are generally tax deductible. You just have to be very clear in your documentation, which is why I said earlier, document, have a regular schedule and keep track. Whether you are doing repairs, improvements, or maintenance, by taking these spring cleaning tips, you can keep your rental properties in excellent condition and ensure tenant satisfaction, because again, happy tenant means a tenant who stays in the house means you keep getting the passive income. The goal is to maximize that passive income while minimizing your landlord workload. We don't want you to do more work. It's not passive income if you actively having to do too much, right? For more tips on building wealth, subscribe to this channel. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads at Rich Like My Melanin. And then visit rlmmfinancial.com. That's my page for more property management tips and just general financial advice, so that we can make this spring a successful one.